All right, everybody. It is Tessica Lo with Streetz 99.3. And today I have Freeway Rick Ross. This is the real Rick Ross. Tell the world what's up.
Hey, what's up, world?
How we doing today? How long are we in Nashville for?
I'm gonna be here until Thursday.
Okay.
We got some events going on.
Okay.
Um, Matter of fact, today we'll be doing the weigh-in for the boxing match.
Okay.
Um, Gonna be barbecue, and everybody gonna be turned up.
Okay.
And I won't be
Period.
eating no barbecue, so all y'all out there talking about, we thought you was vegan. Yeah, right.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the boxing tournament that you're here for. Are we participating as far as hosting, or what are we doing for the
Yeah,
event?
I'm gonna be hosting, and what happened is me and Jimmy Allen, who is the owner of Country Box. He's
Okay.
been in the boxing for I think 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Where we're partnering up. Well, kind of like he kind of taking me on as a mentor. He's
Okay.
gonna mentor me in the boxing. I've been doing boxing now for about 6 years,
Okay.
um, and I have dreams of becoming the biggest boxing promoter in the world.
Okay.
Um, and it's some tall people out there in the world.
Some tall people out there in the world. You're not lying about that. Well, for the people who don't know who you are, can you give us? I know that your story is pretty profound, right? Can you give us a little bit about who you are and where you come from?
Well, I grew up in Los Angeles. Was an aspiring tennis player. Um, Colleges found out I couldn't read or write, so I couldn't go to college to pursue my tennis career. And I found my way to the streets. So they took a square like me and put me on the streets,
Okay.
and I had a run.
Okay. You had a hell of a run. Might we add there?
Yeah, we had a run. It
Okay.
was it was crazy.
So talk to me about going from tennis to the streets. Like, what was that transition for you like in that day and age in that time, right? What in your mind, like I understand what held you back from continuing with tennis, but how was that transition for you?
Well, was it something that I thought I would have been doing?
Okay.
It was kind of like from zero.
To 100 real quick.
Yeah, real
Yeah.
quick, real quick. But I was, I was in a space of nothingness.
Hmm.
Like I didn't know where I was gonna go with my life. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I was searching.
Understood.
You know, like I don't want to be, I don't want to be nothing. I want to be something
Right.
special.
Right.
I
For
want to be
sure.
great.
For sure.
And one of my friends called me, and he introduced me to cocaine for the first time. And
Okay.
I saw it on TV before,
Hmm.
but never in person.
Okay.
So when he introduced me, I thought it was God sent.
Hmm.
Like, oh man, I found something
Right.
that I
Okay.
can do. Nobody to criticize me,
Hmm.
nobody to supervise me.
Hmm.
It was just like it's open. You can go as far as you want to go with this.
And you took it pretty far.
Yeah, I did pretty good.
You did pretty good. We're talking about a million in a day.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
For about 2 years, I was
Okay.
able to do those kind of numbers. I was in it for about 8 years, and before I was making 1 million a day. I was making 700,000 a
Hmm.
day. So I did have a nice run, and um, I touched some money.
Yeah. So tell us about, what type of mindset did it take to have to be able to touch a million in a day?
The mindset that you had to have it. I gotta do this. I gotta do it better than anybody ever did it. Um, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to do that.
Okay. Well, sometimes we do have to do whatever it takes to get to where we want to go, right? So, with that being said, what kind of, I guess, like business skills were you able to walk away from? walk away with and be able to apply it to your life, like today and what you're doing right now?
Oh my goodness, everything, you
Yeah.
know.
Well,
I
let's
mean,
touch a
I
little bit
mean,
about
I
it.
mean, selling drugs is really just like any other business. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you just have a illegal product.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as far as people, you know, you got to have people skills. One of the main things that I found out about any business that you go into, people got to love you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they got to really appreciate whatever service or whatever product you're bringing to them. You want them to really like enjoy those products. You know,
For sure.
you don't want to go in and I mean, because people are not going to buy your product if they don't like it.
For sure. For
And
sure.
I found out that people won't buy your product if they don't like you.
That's also very
You
true. For
know,
sure.
they'll go and take a lesser product just because they don't want to deal with the person. You know,
Right.
and
And you could have the best quality and they choose to go shop with somebody else.
right, and the best price, which they'll
Right.
be like, no, I ain't buying from
Yeah, because I ain't
that
fucking with that
jerk.
person.
You know, like that's a jerk. You know,
Yeah.
so you got to treat people. You know, special. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I came up with a skill where I was able to make everybody feel special, even my workers. You know, and
Yeah.
sometimes I would make them feel so good that they felt like they were better than me.
Yeah.
And
Let's talk about that a little bit too, right? I've listened to some of your prior interviews and how
yeah,
you,
which one?
well, a lot actually. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
I got a lot of stuff on the internet.
Yes, you do. You got quite a bit of a lot.
Yeah,
And
I enjoy it. You know,
yeah,
I enjoy
as you
talking.
should, as you should, right? Because there again comes those people skills, right? So I know you just talked about how you let your workers feel like, pretty good, which kind of tainted their mind to think that they were better than
Yeah,
you, right?
yeah.
So with that being said, like how were you able to navigate those type of emotions that came from the people that worked under you?
Well, you know and sometimes what happens is that they want to take over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they start to feel like that it's theirs,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to always keep yourself in position to where you can pull back whenever
Mm-hmm.
you get ready. And I always was able to do that. Because even though you may be in charge of my business, you're not in charge of my customers.
Right, right, right.
You know, my customers was gonna always stay my customer. You
For
know,
sure,
they
for
gonna
sure,
stay loyal to
for sure.
who they loyal to. So uh, I always kept that position. And you know, sometimes you just gotta be tough and be like, you know what, you got to go out and create your own.
Yeah.
You know, somebody told me Jay-Z told Damon Dash, said, go create you another Jay-Z. So, you know, I would tell them, you know, go create you another
Yeah.
business, you know, take this and you know, go to Chicago, you know,
Right. And
go to
let's see what you
Houston,
could do with it,
yeah, see
right?
what you can do with it if you think that you built this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like to give people a free reign, you know, because you never know what ideas they may come up with. You know, your mind could be limited to seeing this, and then you bring somebody else in with fresh eyes and more knowledge about the situation, and then they could take you to a whole nother level. And I like to
You like to,
allow people to take me to
right.
another levels. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's, essentially on the legitimate side is how business and operations should run. Allow, your employees to take your company to the next level.
Yeah, they should.
Okay.
And a lot of times they don't. You know, I mean, just in general, you know, people have a tendency to overlook
Mm-hmm.
people who are not doing well, you know, or who they don't
Right.
perceive as doing well because, you know, I understand that doing well don't start when you start to make $1 million a day, you know.
Right.
You know, it
Right.
could start when you're only making $10 profit, you
Understood.
know, but that it started,
At
you
least,
know.
right, it started and at least to help to keep the momentum to go.
Yeah, well, the momentum is going already. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you're able to, I mean, even sometimes when you ain't making no money, it already started, you know,
Right.
because it was a book I read one time, and this guy was talking about it was a big rock in his yard, and he was busting it up, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Man, I hit this rock 1,000 times and nothing happened, and then I hit it 1,001 and it split."
Mm-hmm.
So he was saying, did the rock start to split from the first hit,
Gotcha. You just had to make it its way all the way through
or
the
the
thick of
third
it.
hit, or the 100 hit,
Yeah.
or the 1,000 hit? or the 1001 hit, but he did quote that had he not hit it every single time, he never would have got to the split. So, and I look at business has been the same way.
Okay.
Your business may not look like it's doing nothing. It might look and like ain't no crack there. I don't know what you're talking
Right.
about,
Right.
but the crack could be unseen to the human eye or
Hmm.
un unvisualized by most people. But the person who's doing it has to be able to see his own vision.
Understood. Understood about that. And it's always good to have your own vision, right? Because it does not allow for somebody else, for you to walk in somebody else's vision and their dreams, right? Um, so let's talk about like what it's like for you to set those goals for yourself, especially within that in that time frame.
Which goes
Like, did you have any personal goals that you
when I
wanted
started
to?
selling drugs, I
That
wanted to make $5,000.
okay. So how did it feel to make your first 5,000?
Wonderful,
Okay.
but it came so easy, and it was like I made 5,000 too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been that easy.
Shouldn't have been that easy.
Yeah, and then I said, well, you know what? Let's get 20.
Okay. Let's go ahead and keep the ball
And then
going.
it keep, and then it just, like that split. And then they say, oh, I got 20. Let's make 100,000. Now I know what 100. Because when I first started, I didn't even think I knew what $1,000 was.
Hmm.
I never saw more than like maybe $200, $150 or something like that there. So to have 5,000 was like, wow.
Like, I'm that.
What does
I'm
20?
that guy.
What does 20,000 look like?
Yeah.
And then like when you get 20, man, there's such a thing as $100,000.
Yeah.
So then it goes on, and then you get 100,000. You're like, oh, 10 of these is a million.
Might as well get the whole 10, right?
Yeah, might as well. And then now, you're talking about now you're making $10,000 every day.
Hmm.
So you're like, oh, it ain't gonna take me that long.
Hmm.
I can do it.
Hmm.
So uh, it's just that momentum. And I was also practicing what I didn't know at the time is called compound interest.
Okay.
Where you take everything that you make, your earnings,
Hmm.
and you put that back into the business,
Right.
and so it compounds it
Right.
to where one day you might make 10,000, and then the next day, or two, you making 11,000.
Right. Right.
So when you compound it like that, it just keeps raising up the tier.
It's kind of like a snowball effect.
Yes,
Yes.
snowball effect.
Yes. A little bit of a snowball effect. Yes. And then let's talk about your book that you brought here today.
It's
So
my
it's Freeway
autobiography.
Rick Ross. This
That's
is his autobiography.
Yeah, you ain't ready yet.
I have not read it.
Oh, you
This is
slipping.
my.
Oh, you
I am
slipping.
slipping. I'm so
You
young.
slipping. I gotta call you on it.
Okay. Yes, you're right.
It's been out about 7, 8 years.
Okay.
But the world still hasn't read it yet.
Yeah.
Mostly street guys been reading it. I mean, buying it.
Okay.
I've been waiting on the general public to catch up.
Okay. Sometimes trending things, it takes a little bit of a while to, for the public to catch up, which is okay. You
Yeah,
right
yeah,
on
yeah. I
time.
don't mind. I
You
don't
right
mind.
on time with it.
They'll get it one day.
For sure.
Like,
For
they'll be like,
sure.
where have I been? This book been out that long, and I didn't read it. I was slipping. I mean, because they watch Snowfall, which was based off of my book. John Singleton bought one of the first books.
Okay.
People
Okay.
watch my documentary um, on Netflix. It stayed on the front page of Netflix
Hmm.
for a year and a half. That was based off of the book. Um,
See, now I knew that Snowfall was based off of your life, right? Loosely
right.
based. But I did not know that he was one of the first people that purchased one of
Oh
your
yeah, he bought one of my
books.
demo books.
Okay. Well, that's a little bit of a tea.
Yeah,
It's a little
yeah.
tea. So, do you think that he took some of the aspects of your
Think.
book?
Do
You
I
know
think?
it.
Huh?
You know
Come
it.
on, man. Stop it. I watched a little bit of Snowfall,
Yeah.
and I talked to the main actor. We had lunch together one day. I was sitting at Whole Foods, and he spotted me and
Okay.
came and sit down, and we sit there and had lunch together, and we
Okay.
talked about everything, and he was talking about how he wished I was on the set.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, do you think that, in retrospect, do you think that would you have wanted to be on the set of the production of Snowfall?
Probably so. During that time, I was doing bad financially, so to be
Okay.
able to make some
Yeah.
money would have been a good thing.
Right. Understood that.
When you're struggling, like I don't care. Just give me a job.
I
Let me
understand
get
that.
some bread from somewhere.
I
Like I'm
understand
tired of
that.
being broke.
I understand that. And then speaking of like this broke period, right? And then also having lunch with the main character, um, would you have lunch with Rick Ross?
I would.
You would?
Yeah, I don't have
Okay.
no hard feelings to him.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He more so takes it more personal than I do.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, I'm in a good space.
That's good.
I'm happy with myself. I'm happy with my life.
Okay.
You know, I couldn't see myself being nobody else
Understood.
but me. And,
Understood.
and I can understand why somebody would want to be me.
Understood. So I know that like we're here right now, we're happy. Like what did it take for you to get to that point for you?
Of being happy, I think
Mm-hmm.
I've been happy most of my life. I've always enjoyed the world. You know,
Okay.
never was I one that was, saying, I don't want to be here. I don't like this place. Even when I was in jail, um, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed my time there
Why do
because,
you think that you enjoyed your time while you were in jail?
well, I looked at, I read over 300 books before I left
Okay.
prison. So um, I had a lot of psychological thinking, mind
Understood.
thinking. And one time I was reading a book and it was talking about this guy that was captured over in Vietnam, and they were keeping him in little cages,
Hmm.
and it was three Americans that they had over there, and two of the guys were like really messed up about being there, but one guy, he was looking at it like, man, I'm here for my country.
Right. Right.
So his why was
Was
ginormous.
different. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
so
bigger than him.
I make my why bigger than me. It's not
Okay.
about me. It's about the whole get down.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy it. I'm having a ball. That's
Understood.
why me and James come down here to Nashville to help out with a fight.
Okay. All right. So I know that we were speaking of like boxing terms, right? In that type of fight. How did it feel for you to like fight against knowing that the CIA was a big part of the cocaine and crack
Fighting the
culture?
government is a tough
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
Tough fight.
Tough
Yeah.
fight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got the resources.
Yeah.
They got the brainiacs. You know, one of my guys has told me, like when you sleep, they got guys working your case.
Right, for sure. It's 24/7 nonstop.
And when I was in San Diego in the high rise, and my window looked out over the ocean,
Okay.
and right up under my window was where they kept the aircraft carriers.
Okay.
And one day I was thinking, I was like, wow, those aircraft carriers are all controlled by the U.S. government. So
Yeah.
if you get into a fight with the U.S. government, you got to deal with all that.
You got to.
So that ain't no little fight.
It's not a little
And that's why the
fight.
stuff out here don't mean nothing to me. Like,
Yeah.
I fought against guys who had, ships that cost
Unlimited resources.
ships that cost $500 and $600 million. So, the fight against a guy that, might have 10 million to 20 million, or even 100 million, even a billion, is not a big deal.
Yeah. So it's you have a lot of tenacity about you. Seriously. Like you're pretty tenacious. You like to endure what you're
And I
going
try
through.
to be humble.
Yeah. But
Sometimes I can't, just
I think it just speaks a lot because I'm just sitting here, I'm talking to you, and you are very much a happy person, and I can tell like that's your energy like through and through, right? To be able to face those kind of storms, like I can't imagine facing like
sure you
the
could. Sure
government,
you could.
and I know
You got
that.
all that. You got all of it in you, and that's a problem with us as black people. We don't
Mm,
really give ourselves the credit that we deserve.
that is true.
We built the pyramids,
That is true.
and they still trying to figure them out.
That is very
You
true.
know, so we have to understand that we have everything that we need. You know, one book I was reading was talking about the mind, and it was saying how powerful the mind is.
Mm.
Like our mind is stronger than science, than any scientist can ever imagine. Your mind can show you how you can see with it, smell, touch.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
Taste, break food down in your stomach. It tells all the hair on your body to grow
Mm-hmm.
just at the right time. It breaks the food down, and it does all that without you even thinking about it.
That is true.
So it can definitely deal with all the little problems we have out here in the world
That is very true.
if we let it.
If we do let it.
A lot
Right.
of times we clog it up and put it on the wrong channels.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Very
I
true.
got in between two channels at one time, so you get static.
Sometimes it's okay to be on the one channel frequency, though. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So I can see that you love to read now. Like how many books do you read on average, like throughout the year?
I don't read since I've been home. I haven't read many books. Which I'm reading one right now called "How Not to Die."
Okay.
I read Gary's V book when I found out I was going to interview with Gary V. I read his book because I wanted to know a little bit about
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
So I read his book. I read a couple books on internet marketing.
Okay.
But I'm not an advocate reader right now. But
Okay.
in jail I was because
Yeah.
I didn't have unlimited phone time. And there, they give you 300 minutes a month,
Sheesh.
and then they lock you down at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So during those times became my reading times,
Okay.
and I would just read, 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 read. Now, my goal is to execute the
Okay.
things I read.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
So
we're in an execution like season and period of things.
yes, I'm
Yeah.
executing right now. I mean, even this right here is part of an experiment.
Mhm.
I'm down here working with a guy with no contract. Just a verbal agreement that if I do well, he's gonna bring me in,
Okay.
and I believe that once he see my work, he can't resist it.
Yeah.
He'll be hooked. Yeah, kind of like drugs, right? When you go to town and you're selling drugs, you like give out samples.
But see, that goes back to our conversation at the start, right? Is how do those skills translate to today and what you're doing today? So it seems like you're marketing yourself right and getting,
You give out them samples. You
yeah,
know what I'm
giving out the
saying?
samples.
Come on, get the sample of this.
Okay.
If you get a sample, you can't go back. You can't let it go. You're gonna be hooked.
Period. Well, what's next for you? What do you see happening next within like the next 5 to 10 years?
I don't know, man. Tell me what I'll be doing in the next 5 or 10 years. Um, definitely setting up situations to help others to
Okay.
get themselves together.
Okay.
I mean, ain't no fun if the homie can't have none.
That's true. That is very true.
So I'm very much on seeing other people win.
Okay. And so that's pretty much your contribution to society now.
Yeah, kind of like and some people say it's kind of like me being able to say, I redeemed myself for
Okay.
what I did in the past, even though I don't necessarily feel that way myself, because in so many ways I was a victim too,
Right.
because somebody
Right.
called me and turned me on to cocaine for the first time.
Right. Right.
So
You were just a tennis player at that point.
yes,
Well,
and
maybe not just a tennis player. You were still yourself, but
I never introduced anybody to cocaine. Well, to sell, not to use.
got you. Okay. Well,
So
that's a good thing. Give me some sprinkles on
kind
that
it
one.
kind
As
of
far as
but
usage, selling it, using it.
yeah, we ain't gonna use. We gonna get some
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, no, you gotta get to the money. Always,
Yeah.
all money in.
You gotta read the article too. LA Magazine. They wrote my obituary.
They wrote your obituary.
Yeah. You gotta check that out.
Oh wow, I am.
Yeah.
I
A
definitely
great
am.
read. And then that way when I come back and we do this interview again, you're gonna have a
Yes.
whole nother you're gonna get to see from their point of view.
So why did they write an obituary? Is this
They
something
thought I
like
was gonna die in jail.
okay?
Yeah,
They
so
were they look at how that worked.
yeah, but I told them they was wrong.
They are definitely. Did they offer an apology?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. And it's been how
Well, you
long?
know what he did in my documentary, the guy who wrote the article, he was like, never bet against Rick Ross.
Right. No, seriously.
Yeah, so
How
Did
do
you
you
see my
feel?
documentary yet?
I did watch your documentary.
Which one?
I watched the first one, I believe. I watched it on your YouTube channel.
Okay, yeah.
This
Cracking the
one,
system.
yes, that's the
Okay,
one that
he's
I.
in there.
Okay,
Jesse
okay,
Katz.
okay. You're right. He is
Yeah,
in. How do
he's
you
in.
feel about the media now? Like today, do you think they've done you justice
Not really, not
since you've
really.
been home?
You know, I've been on. If you looked at my media, people I did when I got arrested, crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and the people who have interviewed me since I've been home. Like BT has never did an interview with me since I've been home. Even though they did. Well, BT didn't do it, but BH1
Mm-hmm.
did the documentary True Crime Story,
Gotcha.
but they never kind of like did an interview, about
Right.
me being out of prison and
Right.
and the journey that I'm on now. So, but it's all good.
Well, that revolution shall be televised. I know they said it wasn't going to be televised in the past,
Hmm.
but the way that
But we
social
got the
media and
internet
tech is
now.
now, yes, it is being televised.
You doing the interview for
Period. Trying to tell
him?
you. Well, no, I love to see a different perspective or a different version of everybody that I do talk to and get to know them in a different type of way and for my audience too as well.
Yeah,
So that's my biggest goal.
that's dope.
Yeah. Okay, so one of my last few questions for you. What would you today, Freeway Rick Ross, what would you say to your younger self that played tennis?
You're great. Stick with it.
Yeah.
Don't give up too fast.
Okay.
Even if everybody else shine on you,
Hmm.
keep going.
Okay. And do you think that your younger self will be proud of you and who you became today?
Mm, mm, Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, black men love me. So I guess if all the other black men love me, he would have to love himself. And
Yeah.
yeah, he would. He
Yeah.
would. He would. Um, I mean, I look at it like this here. Because I got grandkids, so they're probably gonna say something like, "Oh yeah, my granddad sold drugs for a little while, but look at all the other stuff he did
Right.
after he got out of
Right.
jail." And I think those are the things that's gonna be important.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down with us today. You all, please go grab a copy of this book. I'm going to grab a copy of this book that's going to sit right on my bookshelf.
And
Just
and we
remind me.
got tickets to the fight.
Yes,
So
we got tickets to the
I still
fight.
got tickets left. Y'all make sure y'all come out, support. It's gonna be a big fight, a lot of action. Um, and we're gonna be here often every first Tuesday, I think it is, Country Box.
Okay,
Check it out,
period. Every
man.
first Tuesday. All right, and then tell the people where they can find you online.
Oh, you can get me on Instagram at Freeway Rick. If you want to buy the book online, don't go to Amazon. Please go to
You
Freeway
have
Ricky
to buy
Ross.
it directly from the author, okay? So
Yes,
his link to his website to purchase the book will be right on his social media page.
that's right.
We
And
skipping the
also,
third party. We're going right to the middleman.
that's right. And everything we do. And also, we got a new streaming channel, Little Rock IPTV, where you can put your content on there for you content creators, and you can go straight to your audience with that as well. That's where the boxing match is gonna be on tomorrow. Free, don't cost you no money. So make sure you tune in and man, we getting it in. Come on. Y'all got skits? Holler at me about your skits because we airing your skits on our stuff. We turn up, man. Let's go.
Period. Well, it's Tessica Lo with Streetz 99.3, and I'll see you next time.
Boom.